I'm Nick, and sometimes good enough isn't what you're looking for. Sometimes you want premium materials, massive radiator support, or just design that makes people stop and stare. And by people, I mean just you. Only you care about how your PC looks. If you have a budget stretching over $100, the market right now is incredible. While I know some cases won't be on this list, these are our picks and they're cases that stood out to us this year. All the cases shown in this video were released in this year, which is 2025. These aren't in any particular order, and there are links to everything down below. If you do use those links to purchase any of these cases, you're a legend. Here are the best premium cases you need to see if you want to splash some cash. But before splashing any cash on a PC, you're going to need an operating system, and that's where today's video sponsor comes in.
This video is brought to you by VIPSCDKey.com. Have you ever installed Windows 11 only to see the watermark of death? You don't need to fork out a couple of $100s for a key. You can grab one from today's video sponsor, from VIPSCDKey.com for a tenth of the price. You can use our code GEAR to get 30% off for this month only. How good is that? That takes that already cheap Windows 11 key and makes it even cheaper. It's easy as placing your order. Bingo bango. You've got your new key on your orders page. You chuck that key into the activation screen and you're good to go. No more watermark of death. Use code GEAR to get 30% off for this month only. Link in the description. On with the video. Back to you, Nick.
Thermaltake came out absolutely swinging this year with the View 390 Air. This is a dual chamber mid-tower case starting at around about $149 depending on the color. The Future Dust colorway that we use for our review is more expensive, but again, the price here varies region to region, so you might get lucky. You might find this one on sale even. It features a curved tinted tempered glass panel that gives it a very sleek automotive vibe. Being a typical dual chamber case, the power supply is tucked away behind the motherboard, making the main chamber look incredibly spacious, because it really is incredibly spacious. The cooling support here is a little bit overkill, but in the best way. You can fit two 200mm fans right up the front on those fan brackets. The bottom fits three 120mm fans, and the sides take up to a 360mm radiator. The chimney layout here works really well, and to be honest, the thermals were better with the panels on rather than off, which proves that Thermaltake really did their homework with the View 390. The bottom line with the View 390 is, it's big, it's heavy, it's premium, and while the port labels on the case did feel a little bit cheap, the rest of the quality control is a massive step up for Thermaltake. So yeah, that's why we included it in this list.
This is potentially Lian Li's best case to date. This is the Lancool 217. Starting at around $120, the value here is actually kind of shocking. First, let's talk about what you get in the box. 5 fans. You get 2 massive 170mm front intake fans, 2 120mm reverse pitch fans on the PSU shroud, and a 140mm rear exhaust. It also includes a fan hub for PWM and ARGB. The flexibility is unmatched. It supports back connector motherboards, but it also supports massive SSI EEB server motherboards if you flip a bracket. That is rare in a mid-tower. You can mount the PSU in the rear or on the side to open up even more cooling options. The attention to detail is what makes it premium. You have a secondary power button on the top of the case for easy access, fantastic toolless panels, and a wooden finish option that looks sophisticated. Thermals are top tier for both CPU and GPU. At $120, this feels like a case that should cost $180. It's a buy it once, keep it forever kind of case. As a bit of an update to the 217, the 217 Infinity with the front infinity mirror is also available, and after testing the thermal performance, the 217 Infinity is slightly better than the regular 217, and it comes in at around $125 USD.
Next up is the Fantex Evolve X2. This one's priced at about $149 US. This is the evolution of your typical fish tank case. The goal here was very simple. Make the hardware look like it's floating. The design here is incredibly clean, and Fantex has implemented a recessed fan bracket at the bottom. It heavily favors back connector motherboards to achieve, let's call it that wireless look. There's even a hinged door on the back of the case so you can cover all of your cable management mess. So even when you've got terrible cable management, the back will look good too. Cooling is pretty typical here. It's a chimney style. It's got intake from the bottom, it exhausts out the top, and it fits a 360mm radiator up the top quite easily. The only downside with the X2 is height clearance for thick radiators. It's going to be a little bit tight, but aesthetically, this case is stunning. The build quality, the fits and finishes, they're all a step above typical Phanteks cases. It just feels a bit more solid and refined compared to their other cases. If you want your PC to look kind of like a piece of modern art, I guess you would call it, the Evolve X2 is definitely worth looking at, and it's priced again at $149 US.
Now for a newcomer that is making huge waves, the Haven BF360. This comes in a standard version for $149 and a Flow version for $199. We're focusing here on the Flow because honestly, it's the one you want. The build quality is exceptional, reminiscent of Haven's ultra premium HS420. The front panel has a unique organic stone finish texture that looks unlike anything else on the market. Inside, the Flow version is a beast. It includes two 180mm front fans that move a massive amount of air quietly. There is also a specifically designed air scoop angled at 120 degrees to force air directly into your GPU. The thermal testing backed this one up, keeping both CPU and GPU chilly. Cable management is a dream in the BF360. It has labeled raceways and pre-installed Velcro. It's a builder-friendly case. While it lacks back connector support, which is a minor gripe in 2025, the BF360 has near-perfect execution, and it is one of our favourite cases of all time. It's expensive, but it feels expensive, and I don't have a problem with that. The Arctic Extender is for those who want size and shine. With the price starting at $219, this is a large case with a striking black mirrored glass finish. It comes with 5 premium Arctic daisy chain fans, which alone are worth a decent chunk of change. Don't let the price put you off too much, because where the Extender shines is with cooling support. It supports up to 420mm rads on the top and the side. If you are building a custom water cooling loop, this space is invaluable. However, there is a major but with this case. It includes a vertical GPU bracket, but you need to be careful. If you use a thick card like an MSI RTX 5090 Supreme, in the vertical bracket, it pushes the fans right up against the glass, choking the card. The thermal performance in vertical mode was poor, but it can be overcome by choosing the right cooler. But if you mount the GPU horizontally, thermals are excellent. I'm not sure if we're doing ratings, but it's a 7.5 out of 10 case. Beautiful and well made, just flawed in that specific vertical configuration, but definitely worth considering because the mirrored glass finish is gorgeous.
And now for something completely different. This one's probably no surprise to you guys. The Silverstone FLP02. This case is, to put it simply, it's pretty expensive. It comes in at around about $239 US. And I think this might be my personal favorite case of the year. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but this is a premium case. But not because of RGB or glass. I think this one's quite obvious to you guys already. It's premium because it perfectly replicates the beige box era of the 80s and the 90s. It features 3 5.25-inch drive bays hidden behind covers that look like floppy drives. It has a functional turbo button and a key lock for security. The turbo button does one really interesting thing. It'll allow for PWM fan control or for just maxing out all the fan speeds. While it looks old on the outside, inside it's all modern. It'll fit SSI EEB motherboards, 360mm liquid coolers, and massive GPUs up to 386mm in length. Get it? 386. Our video is a little bit different though. I built a retro spec machine in it. I did dual Pentium 3s and a 3DFX Voodoo 5 5500. But this case is really designed for sleeper builds. You can fit a 5090 in there. You can close up the beige panel and nobody would ever know that you'd have high-end hardware in it. It's a very niche product, but it's executed perfectly for the retro collector. You know what? I'm going to say it, guys. I think the Silverstone FLP02 is my favorite case of the year, but Claire has one last interesting case to look at.
Finally, an honourable mention to the Cooler Master Masterframe 400. This is an early look at an MATX version of their open frame concept. It's quirky. It uses magnetic panels for everything. Pop off the front, tilt the top. It allows you to build in a semi-open air configuration. It supports back connector motherboards like the MSI Project Zero boards. The critical takeaway from the early testing is airflow direction. Because it's so open, you must use bottom intake fans. Without them, the components cook, but with them, it works great. It fits a 5090, handles a 360mm rad, and looks incredibly unique in silver. We don't have final pricing yet, but if you want a test bench style rig that can also serve as a daily driver, keep an eye on this one.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's our 2025 premium tier over $100 list. We do have an under $100 list. You can check out that down below in the description. There were a few cases that almost made the list, like the Cooler Master Frame 600. It's a cool case, but it's just a little bit too complicated. The Fractal Meshify 3 was close to getting on the list, but honestly, I just feel like something's missing. And also, the Thermaltake TR100. The riser cable was just a bit too flaky, but overall I really like the case, but I can't recommend it if I'm really not sure about the riser cable situation. Well, were there any surprises there for you? Let us know down below in the comments. As I mentioned in the under 100 video, 2025 was a pretty light year for cases. I already know there's some cool stuff coming in 2026, so make sure you subscribe to see all the cool stuff coming. Otherwise, thanks for watching. You don't have to subscribe, but it'd be nice if you did.